So first of all, we have to expand this, and to expand this, I'm going to sub in from n equals 2 to 6 into n here, and I'm going to write the series because sigma notation, as all of you know, give me a series, and that means find the sum of this series from the term when n equals 2 to n equals 6. So first thing, I'm just going to go cos 2 pi over 4. I'm subbing 2 for n, and then plus sub in 3 for n, and that's going to be 3 pi over 4 plus cos 4 pi over 4 plus cos 5 pi over 4 and plus cos 6 pi over 4. So we did all the way from 2 to 6. I'm going to simplify a little bit here. So cos, that's going to be pi over 2. That's just going to stay as cos 3 pi over 4. Plus this is going to reduce to cos pi. And that's just going to stay as cos 5 pi over 4. And this here is just going to be cos 3 pi over 2. So now let's deal with the easy ones first. First of all, cos pi over 2, just here, cos pi over 2 is 0. I'm going to leave this for a little bit, and then cos pi, because I could just interpolate from the graph here, cos pi is -1. And after that, I'm just going to leave cos 5 pi over 4 for a second. That's 5 pi over 4, sorry. And then cos 3 pi over 2, 3 pi over 2 is right here. So that's 0 as well. So that's being gone, and then I still have cos 3 pi over 4 here. So we have 0, 0, that's canceled. We have -1 there. So now let's find cos 3 pi over 4. So if we want to find cos 3 pi over 4, we know 3 pi over 4 will happen to be right in the second quadrant, because that's pi right there, and that's 0. And so pi is the same as 4 pi over 4. That's a common denominator. So 3 pi over 4 will be in the second quadrant. And the reference angle for 3 pi over 4 would be pi over 4, which is the 45. And so if we're doing cos of 45, we'll get 1 over root 2. But the only thing is you have to remember that all the students take calculus. So since we're doing cos 3 pi over 4 and we're in the second quadrant, the cosine is negative in the second quadrant. So this will give me -1 over root 2. And this is going to be plus -1, so just -1. And then we have plus, how about cos 5 pi over 4? 5 pi over 4 will be right in this quadrant right here. And therefore the reference angle, so that's 5 pi over 4 right there. And the reference angle here will be also pi over 4. And so you go to pi over 4, find out what the cos is. It's 1 over root 2. And since that only the tan is positive here, so the cos is also negative. So we'll have -1 over root 2. And therefore now the common denominator is root 2. This is over 1. So we'll end up with -1 minus. And since this here has a 1 on the bottom, so I have to divide the bottom by root 2, and whatever I get, I multiply it to the top. Whatever way you do in the common denominator, that's what I do. So here I'm going to get -root 2, and then plus and minus 1 is going to be -1 because they have the same common denominator there. And therefore, this will be -2 minus root 2 over root 2. And if you want to rationalize the denominator, then you just multiply top and bottom by root 2 over root 2, which equals -2 root 2 minus root 2 times root 2 just gives me 2 here. And the bottom will be 2 because root 2 times root 2 is just 2. Now, you know, you could, I'm just going to take this right here to give you the final answer. Because all of them have 2's, now you could reduce the 2's and you'll end up with root 2 minus 1 as your final answer.